word that burst into the life of every Ukrainian before the dawn of February 24, 2022. Around 4 a.m., Russia started full-scale invasion in Ukraine from several directions at once. They launched deadly missiles at the capital of our country, Kiev, and other cities of Ukraine. Sound of sirens touched millions of civil Ukrainian lives. In one moment, our life divided into before and now. Martial laws has been introduced in Ukraine. Today, an enemy invaded our land. Our main weapon is endurance, calmness, and organization. Do we remember that day? Indeed, everyone remembers and will never forget to the end of our lives. My father called me and said that the war had started. I immediately started scrolling the news, and then I heard the sound of explosions and an air alarm. It was very scary. I was at home when it all happened. It was 6 in the morning. My mom told me that the war had started. I was in panic, didn't know what to expect next, and will I ever see that next? I arrived from Bucha the day before. I studied at the university there, and it turned out so well that I made it literally on the night when the war started. I came home and found this war at home with my parents. Fear, shock, but none of us left the country. My son-in-law is at the war since 2014. He's a helicopter pilot. I'm really sad and afraid for our children. I'm an old man, so I have nothing to worry about. No one could possibly know, nor wait, that this would happen. I'm from Kharkiv. For me, all started when I woke up at 6 in the morning because of explosions around my city. First thought, it's impossible. There's no way it's all real. In the first day of war, no one understood what could possibly happen next. Reading news from the front lines, everybody was scared. Enemies will rapidly move forward, planning to invade and capture industrial Kremenchuck, which moreover geographically stands at the crossroad of all roads. So through it, the enemy planned to quickly advance deep into the country. Such plans were personally built by the terrorist Emperor Putin himself. Yuzhmash factory, which specialized in production of rockets and space technology, was on the verge of bankruptcy, as was the Kremenchuck steel works. The defense of Kremenchuck became the main task at the first days of the war. We were the first in the region who deployed checkpoints and built fortifications around Kremenchuck a few days before 21st of February. The city started to look like a fortress itself. Kremenchuchans united together in their desire to defend Kremenchuck and prevent the enemy from entering. Some gathered sand in bags and built barricades, others prepared Molotov cocktails, some dug trenches, women wove camouflage nets and prepared food for our defenders. As never before, the volunteer movement has threatened and acquired a special meaning. Everyone worked for the victory. At that time the enemy was very close. The Russian tank columns entered the Poltava region. They reached Gadych, which is only about 100 kilometers in a straight line to Kremenchuck, and we simply did not have time to think and procrastinate. We prepared fortifications around the perimeter of entire city. Kremenchuck turned into a real fortress in almost 2 days, and this fortress was built by the military, city council and civil city residents. Everyone joined together and became such a great team. In addition to the issue of the city defense, from the first day of the war, Kremenchuck had to solve other, no less difficult task. Through the city, an endless stream of Ukrainians fleeing from occupation and from the territory of military actions. All of us remembers quite well how thousands of cars waiting in line at checkpoint at the entrance to Kremenchuck. City streets were completely jammed with cars with license plates from different regions. Numerous trains and buses filled with people who were fleeing from the enemy, mostly without the most necessary things, and all of them had to be received, warned, fed, sheltered and protected. Everyone worked then, the city government, the businessmen and ordinary citizens of Kremenchuck. Kremenchuck has turned into a real humanitarian hub. The temporary state center Kremenchuck, drop-off points for item and food, 24-hour hotlines and centers for providing psychological assistance have become operational in the city. Volunteers work 24/7 at public reception areas. They met buses at the railway stations, accommodated people and prepared food. They try to calm down everyone. Life. You can live here with a dog. Thank you. We've seen everything, how they were shooting, how they were bombarding. That's why we came here. It took us 4 days to come to Kremenchuck. Thank you that we came here and you provided us with accommodation. We are very happy that we got here safe and sound. We just had dinner, so thank you for feeding us. It was delicious. Of course, I really want to go home, but there is nothing I can do. We had very heavy bomb shelling back there. Everything is fine here now. People are really welcoming us here. Everything is fine. Of course, I really want to go home, but there is nothing I can do. We had very heavy bomb shelling back there. Everything is fine here now. People are really welcoming us here. Everything is fine. There was not enough stock of products and items of the first need. City's resources were running out. Kremenchuck appealed for the help to the whole world. The first one who responded was the sister cities. Humanitarian cargo from Alirus arrived in early March. The humanitarian aid began to arrive from all over the world. The United States, Poland, France, Germany, Lithuania, Northern Macedonia, Slovakia, Latvia and Romania. We thank everyone who has a great heart and gives a hand of help to Ukraine in a difficult minute. But despite all of the above, Kremenchuck not only received help, Kremenchuck helped others too. We brought bread, water and milk to Kharkiv, Kherson, Mariupol and Bakhmut. We sent products for people in Kiev, which were hiding from bombing and shooting in the subway. When we arrived there, I was completely in shock. Huge amount of bags, a huge number of things that simply lay on the platforms. People were not allowed to train, and all of those who wish could not be taken out as well. On the same day we called people. We tried to plant many women and children in the car. Some men also came in tears and while crying begged us to also take them away. We picked them up too. People were standing, sitting, lying while driving to the safe place. Life in the condition of military situation gradually enters the usual course. Everyone in Kremenchuck worked for victory as hard as they could. We even began to get used to the daily sounds of air alarm until the enemy began to bomb Kremenchuck. Realizing that the city will not be able to cease, the Russians began to destroy it. On the 2nd of April, the first bomb attack on Kremenchuck oil refinery factory. 24th of April, Russia struck a rocket strike on Kremenchuck cogeneration with missiles. 12th of May, another powerful attack on Kremenchuck. On June 18th, again, they hit the critical infrastructure of the city. As a result, the capacity of the Kremenchuck oil refinery was destroyed, and because of the destruction of our thermal power plant, the city could remain in the winter without heat. Even though you can rebuild houses and buildings, you cannot restore the lost human lives. 2022, the 27th of June, the enemy carried out the most terrible terrorist attack, which scrambled the whole world, causing a missile strike on the shopping center store. 22 lives were taken, dozens of broken hearts and bloody wounds in the heart of every citizen. Those reptiles, they're not humans. They destroy us. Destroyed my family. Our heart was torn apart. The year of war showed us all that we are stronger when we together. Despite missiles attack, the difficult situation on the front, the difficult moral situation, the lack of material and labor resources, Kremenchuck strongly keeps the labor front. According to the instructions of the President of Ukraine Volodymyr Zelensky, the city is fulfilling the set task, bringing out common victory closer. The city authorities have done and are doing everything possible to ensure that the residents of the city and the migrants are provided with communal service, food, etc. In the city everyone is working. Bread is baked, public transport is working, medical services are provided. The city is constantly provided with water, garbage is also removed. Even under the shooting in Kremenchuck in the basement comes new lives, and many of the refugees in whose family during this time the children are born consider Kremenchuck their second home. During this year we accepted more than 40 deliveries in the storage room. More than 40 children were born in the operation room. We even gave birth to one set of twins. City hospitals receive wounded from the front. Kremenchuck also provides an opportunity for people who temporarily found themselves in our city during the war to receive quality medical care. From the very first day of the war, we provided assistance to all patients who appealed to us. These were also refugees, residents of our district, residents of Poltava region and other neighboring regions. Even during the blackout, even in the most difficult times for our country, we worked and we will always work. On October 10th, the first mass rocket attack of Ukraine began. Russia's changed tactics and decided to destroy each one of us. The enemy beat the critical infrastructure to leave us without light, without water, without heat and without connection. In November, Kremenchuck suffered after the blackout, which Russians arranged for Ukraine by destroying important infrastructure objects. But it did not break us. We have become much stronger and independent. We are grateful for the assistance provided by our partners from France, Germany, Poland, and other countries. They helped with the generators and other necessary stuff. We have scattered all over the city place of Inbrook, which we called Пункти незламності. We created Nezlamomobili, light-up generators, and for a minute did not stop the city's viability. Winter scared us. We were afraid to stay without heat, freeze in our homes, because the enemy destroyed Kremenchuck heat station. The task of providing the people who lived in Kremenchuck with heat was to the city authorities, and they managed to do so. They did it, but certainly not easy. In Kremenchuck, in the record time was created new, diversified heating system. Every house last year actually had to be started manually, but we have dealt with it. It was decided to provide emergency and reserve heat supply of the city. Here I would like to thank Yuri Shapovalov and the mayor of the city for the interest of Kremenchuk community, because they joined the process quickly together with the Ministry of Communities and Territories Development. Each one of us has its own history of war, but fortunately, we saw the Russian tanks in Kremenchuck only in the burned form on the Victory Square. And all of this thanks to our defenders, who received all the necessary support and assistance from Kremenchuck. Over 200 million hryvnias were spent from the city budget to the past year on the needs of the armed force of Ukraine. Dozens of cars were purchased and repaired with those funds. Thousands of military equipment and ammunition, communication facilities, food and much more were purchased. We are grateful for support to the city authorities. Thank you. This car will already perform combat tasks on advanced vehicles this week. Today, despite the exhaustion and fatigue, we are much stronger, more hardened, more consolidated and invincible. We believe in the armed force, believe in our president, believe in the victory of Ukraine, and we are bringing it closer, each of its capabilities.